This is the S&P 500 one-month reading for September 2022. It's currently August 16th, 2022, 8:12 p.m. Eastern Time. The overall theme and behavior for the month of September is going to be a decline that ends with a fast, sudden move to the upside. And it's crossed with some periods of sideways fluctuation that are bullish, but they precede at least one period of sideways fluctuation that's bullish, and it precedes a decline. Behavior around the high. We attempt to establish, or we do temporarily establish, new support around the month's high. And I'm advised that there's a significant cash out opportunity there. The behavior around the low, or moving into the low, is going to be a breakdown through multiple significant or multiple critical support levels to reach the month's low. So notable decline here, guys. After and then at some point we establish support. So let's look into it a bit closer here. On the first, we have a correlation to a decline with a that ends with a sudden move to the upside, and the ace of, the Fool card is also correlated. It's a cross congruency with the 1 day reading for September 1st. We have the Fool card in the high position. Looks like high at the end of the day. And then on the second, we have a decline. It'll be a notable decline that stands out on a 1 month chart. The 5th, there's no trading on the 5th as far as the stock market. And then on the 6th, we have a move higher through a diagonal, we have a move higher through a horizontal resistance. We stay above it briefly, and then we break back down through that same price level. And thus far, we have a swing trade around a critical price level here on the 1st. A swing trade here in the midst of this decline with some sideways fluctuations that are in a bearish formation preceding an incline. On the 6th, we have... There's no swing trade opportunity on the 6th, but we have one local high on the 6th. And by local high, I mean when you're looking at a 1 day chart of the 6th, you're going to see one prominent high that stands out. That high will form when there's a rally that marks an opportunity to open up a short position to protect against long positions on a 1 day chart. On the 7th, we have some cross correlations here. Both the month's high and the month's low correlate here. It's stronger for the month's high. It's definitely stronger for the month's high, but we should see likely see some like back and forth volatility in here. Looks like there's a cash out opportunity at the very beginning of the day. There may be a day trade opportunity here. There's a trade opportunity having to do with 2 leaders. That's what makes me think that this is likely a high, because we have similar correlations to the high correlator and this day. They both have similar correlations to other cards. Hopefully that makes sense. And then there's one local low on the 7th. So on a 1 day chart of the 7th, there'll be one prominent low that stands out, and it will form when we have out of it will come a rally with along a diagonal trend line, breaking through horizontal resistance before, and then moving to secondary resistance before breaking back down to somewhere between those 2 price levels. On the 8th, we have what appears to be the completion of a rally. We may revisit a crest here on the 8th. I'm advised to buy protection at the end of the day on the 7th. So somewhere around the 7th and the 8th, or the 8th, is a crest. The completion of a rally here, and a swing trade opportunity involving a sideways fluctuation in a bearish formation that precedes a rally. On the 9th, we have, out of a notable decline, there is a move all the way from the bottom of a range to the top of a range on the 9th. And Mercury Retrograde station takes place here. So after the 9th, we are officially in retrograde. What happens during retrograde, a lot of the time you see a reversal right around the 9th. Either that, or there's like a pause in trend. But you can see we're coming up on like a crest right here, and there's a bit of a reversal. My sense is that we move to a Well, we'll get into that, but on the 12th, at the end of the day on the 9th, we have a move higher followed by a decline back down through the same price level. Move higher through a resistance. You stay there briefly and then break back down. We also have the full moon there, so another reversal indicator, guys. A full moon, usually there's a reversal just a little bit ahead of a full moon. Mercury retrograde, generally there's a reversal right on it. Depends on when the retrograde actually takes place. I think it's in the evening on the 9th, so it may not affect the trading day as much as far as like it making everything stall out or not go in a direction. It may likely go in a direction, but we should see a pivot point here on the between like the 8th and the 12th. We'll see like a notable reversal on a 1 month chart. On the 12th, again, we have a move higher through horizontal resistance. We stay above it briefly, and then we break back down to the same price level. Maybe like a higher... It may be a higher price level than on the 9th, or it may be the same price level as on the 9th, as far as like a high. And there's one local high that forms, offering an opportunity to open up a short position. It's a rally that moves into the high and offers a notable rally on a one-day chart, offering an opportunity to open up a short position. And then there's also quite a lot of movement here. There's a low or a big decline here on the 12th, and it looks like early in the day, possibly. On the 13th, again, we have a move higher through a resistance. We stay above it briefly, and then we break back down. Overall theme of the 13th is there's going to be a prominent move to the upside that's matched by an equal move back down, so right back to the price level that we moved higher from. Right around the 13th. On the 14th, a significant or an important price level is highlighted at resistance. There's one local high that forms. It's a significant price level there, and the high we should be able to see when the high is forming, because we'll see a lull in volume. There's also a swing trade opportunity here on the 14th involving sideways fluctuations in bearish formation that precede an incline. Okay, I had something talking in my head, or like earphones. On the 15th, we have a prominent trough or a decline into a notable... There could be a strong decline here on the 15th into a prominent trough that we would see on a one-day chart, or this could be a prominent trough on a 1 month chart. But we do have another indication of a crest here on the 16th. I don't believe this to be a month's high. I feel the month's high was back here. But there is a notable crest here, and it looks like maybe a drop as well. Actually, it looks like the notable trough is on the 16th. So we might reach a new low and then out of that come to a new high, because if we reach a new low, then a new high would be sort of like a new high. It may continue a little bit higher here on the 19th. The overall theme and behavior on the 19th is going to be a fast sudden move higher that marks the end of a period of volatility. I even grab my dog. You're a good boy, you know. You're a good boy. You're gonna come hang out with me. Oh, thank you. This is Hermes. If you haven't met Hermes, my friends. All right, so we may have a higher high on the 19th than on the 16th. It looks like. It's hard to say because there's a crest on the 19th, the 16th, 19th. There's crest indications there, but there's also a drop indicator, like a notable drop indicator. We're talking on like a 1 day chart or a 1 month chart. Something significant that happens early on the 16th, and there's 3 crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level, confirming a bullish trend on the 16th. And that's on a 1 day chart. On the 19th, again, one swing trade opportunity there that involves a sideways fluctuation and bearish formation that precedes a rally. Excuse me. Looks like we have a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of that period of volatility towards the end of the day. Notable move to the upside towards the end of the day on the 19th. On the 20th, On the 20th, it looks like a lot of bullish energy as well. We may turn a resistance level into new support early on the 20th. There's a notable move to the upside midday. And then we may even turn another resistance level into new support towards the end of the day. There is a swing trade opportunity involving a key technical price level on a multi-day chart. And one local high that forms on the 20th, excuse me. So if you're looking at a one-day chart of the 20th, you'll see one prominent high that forms, and it'll surprise us. It'll form in the there'll be a rally to meet it, and it'll happen in the midst of some negative headwinds, where we'll expect this to go lower, we'll go higher. On the 21st. It looks like we have a sideways S formation between the 21st and the 22nd. And what I mean by that is over the 21st and the 22nd, we should see between a horizontal resistance and a horizontal support, we should see a decline from that resistance to the support, and then a rebound all the way back to the resistance, followed by a rebound all the way back to that support. A sideways S formation over the 21st and the 22nd. And it looks like we go from a crest into another notable trough there. There's a lot of price movement in the midst of this sideways S, especially towards the end of the day on the 21st, and then again in the end of the day on the 22nd. Looks like there's a drop. There's a drop from a crest there. And then on the 23rd, we have selling from overbought territory on our RSI. There's two local lows on a one-day chart of the 23rd. One will involve a rally out of it along a diagonal trend line, breaking through horizontal resistance to meet a secondary resistance and then fall back to somewhere between those two price levels. The other low will involve a high that of some sort on a one-day chart that is not revisited within the time frame of that one-day chart. Either that, or it's a quick high that is easily missed. Probably more so that, a quick high that is easily missed. And then we have the new moon over the weekend, so another reversal indication there. Okay, so what I think happens here, guys, is on the 16th, there's a drop over the 15th and the 16th into the 19th. We move higher out of the 19th into the 20th and the 21st, and then another drop there on the 22nd. With a lot of price movement around the 22nd, guys, like some big moves around the 22nd. On the 26th, we have three pokes through the same price level, and then on the third poke, there's a decline, notable decline on a one-day chart. We also have a swing trade opportunity involving sideways fluctuations in bearish formation preceding a rally, and then we have one local high on the 26th involving a critical, or I should say an important technical price level at resistance. Midday, it looks like we have a poke at that price level early in the day, a poke at that same price level at the end of the day, and we may have a poke at two pokes at the end of the day, or one of those pokes, like the third poke could be overnight on the 27th before we have that decline. But there's a unicursal hexagram here and a King of Wands and wealth indication on the ruins. So I'm going to say that there's a notable rally here towards early in the 27th or over the 27th, and in the midst of that rally, I'm going to want to open up some protection because we're going to have a notable drop. It may not be at towards the end of the month. I haven't looked into October, but I know that this price level, whatever this price level is here at the high for the 27th, is going to be a price level that we will be notably lower than come the next significant decline on a multi-day chart. On the 28th, we have a rally that breaks down with a fast sudden move to the upside, and then it breaks down through a diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. Looks like we have lower prices On the 29th, revisiting past problems, and there's a flight to safety. We attempt to establish support at a low on the 30th, and it looks like there is a notable fake out at the low here on the 30th. That's important to point out there, guys, because when we look at the 1 year for September, we have a correlation to the devil card, to a fake out card here. It's one of three fake outs, significant fake outs for the year of 2022 that we identified at the low here in September. So it looks like we have a low at the end of the month of September. With some significant trade opportunities in there as well. Interesting. There's a month's low in September, or a year's low in September, and it looks like there's another low late in September. So we may have another low or a lower low in September. Interesting. Anyhow, guys, that's September 2022 for S&P 500. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. If you want to get this sooner, guys, you should sign up for a free mailing list on the website tarotfortraders.com. Sign up for the free mailing list, and you get the overview of the S&P 500 a week ahead of the month. Every month, we're averaging roughly a 98% average accuracy. And do me a favor, when you make that money, guys, stay inside the rule of karma. Take 10% of it and split it in half. Take half of that. You want to send it forward, pay it forward, help somebody out who's not expecting it, somebody who needs it. Take the other 5% of that, the other half of that 10%, and you pay it back to us at Approveb on Cash App. That supports the channel. It shows gratitude for all the free work we do. We work hard, my friends. And then with the other 90%, do what you got to do with those profits. Just make sure it's out of love. As long as it's out of love, the universe is going to pay it back to you tenfold in all directions. I'll see you on the next one.